The Spinal Tap? Yeah, we did think about a sequel. I mean, we did a show once on HBO, which was kind of, and then for Live Earth, we did a Where Are They Now thing, which we put on the internet, and it was me as Marty going back to find out where everybody was, and I think Chris was raising little pony horses. They were this big, and I said, "What?" He says, "Well, I feed them, I take care of them, I feed them." I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" He says, "Well, I hope to race them." I said, "Well, how are you going to race? I mean, what, you can't find him. How are you going to find jobs?" He says, "Well, he says there's a valley where we find these small horses, and we hope we can find really small people to fit on them." I said, "Well, what are the chances of finding?" He said, "It's about a 40% chance of My dad and Sid Caesar, you know, those are, and Mel Brooks. I mean, those are the guys. I mean, you know, the people that were you know, in my household, you know, that I saw as a kid growing up. Sid Caesar was, you know, to me the most brilliant sketch comedian that ever lived, and you know, and my dad and Mel doing the 2,000-Year-Old Man. Those are the things that I lived.
I just want to say something about your mother. His mother was very funny, and nobody knew because she was one of these quiet people who didn't speak up. But when she spoke, when she had something, so I'll never forget. Rob was sitting on a couch, and Annie came in, his sister. She was 16 at the time, and Rob said a lot of his friends, daughters and friends, were having nose jobs. He says, "For your 16th birthday," he said to me, "why don't you get her a nose job for a present?" I said, "Robbie, that's not nice." I said, look at her mother's nose. Her mother's nose is bigger than Annie's, and look at the handsome fella she got." And Estelle said, "Yes, it's not the size of your nose that counts, it's what's in it." And so I told that to Steve Martin. We were doing a picture together, and 4 years later he called me. He called Estelle. He says, "Estelle, can I use that line? I'm doing Cyrano de Bergerac." And when he hears Cyrano saying it, it's not the size of your nose, it's what's in it. Anyway.
One time she went to a movie called Inserts, which was a soft-core porn. One time they went to see. They were going to go see the movie Deep Throat. They decided they're all going to go out and see Deep Throat. And my mother said, "I don't want to go see it." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because then I'll feel like an obligation to get hot. I don't want to have that obligation." So that was the kind of thing. But she also saw this movie Inserts, and Rick Dreyfuss was in it. He was like an Orson Welles kind of character who had fallen on hard times. He was like a wunderkind director who's now relegated to directing softcore porn films. And my dad and mom were watching this movie, and it was like terrible. And my mother's, because I was Rick Dreyfuss and I went to high school together, we were like best friends and stuff. And so my mom leans over to my dad and he says, "Carl, let's not let Rob play with Ricky anymore." So she was fun. All right, one more question, and then we'll start the film.
Who are some of your favorite directors?
My favorite today or all time? Well, contemporary? Well, my favorite directors, I mean, from my, you know, Kazan and Truffaut. I liked a lot of, you know, his films growing up. Kubrick was one that I admired a lot and watched his work and studied his stuff. And Coppola, yeah, well, he's almost my contemporary. I mean, he was a little, I went to college at UCLA when he was there. He's brilliant, obviously. Woody Allen, you know, I always liked him.
Have you seen the latest Eastwood film?
Yes, you know, Clint Eastwood to me is like, you know, he's like my idol. I mean, you know, this guy is like, he's 80 years old, he's still making films, and he's making interesting films, and it's like his career is one of the most fascinating evolutions. I mean, starting with spaghetti westerns and Dirty Harry, and then all of a sudden he's making Bird, and he's playing jazz piano, and he's writing music for his films, he's making all these interesting films. I mean, you know, we should all be so lucky to, I mean, like to just be able to breathe at 80. I mean, the guy's amazing. No, he's 88. He's still doing stuff. I'll never keep up with him. But anyway, thank you all for coming. going to see it because it's so dear to me, this film. You'll have a good time. It's only an hour and 25, 30 minutes, so you'll love it. You'll have a good time. Wait a minute, one more thing.
I'm not going to stay to see Flip because I've seen it 4 times. No, I'm not kidding, but I want to ask you something. If you're going to have the same reaction, I have never seen a movie where at the end of the movie, 4 times, you have a smile on your face and a tear in your eye. See if I'm right.
Okay.